welcome to the Sequoit Broadcast Network. My name is Ian Flatley.
And my name is Jasmine Delara. Sequoit Broadcast Network is back with our monthly show, bringing you all the latest news in the school and the community. First on the list is the first day excitement that associative producer Senior Ian Flatley captured in his video of the pep rally that the Cardinal Crazies put on to ring in the school year.
Students are always looking for new ways to be creative, and executive producer, Senior Jasmine Delara, and new staff member, Junior Carly Rosenquist, getting into the fall spirit with a new segment called Carly's Craft, where she gives step-by-step tutorials on a fun and easy craft. Check it out!
Hi, I'm Carly and welcome to Carly's Crafts. Today I'll be teaching you how to get crafty with crayons. The materials needed for this project are crayons, optional paint, hot glue guns, canvas, and a hair dryer. The first step to this project is to take your canvas. If you are not satisfied with the color of your canvas, you have the option to paint it. Choose whatever color that you would like. After your canvas has dried, you're going to want to hot glue gun the crayons to the canvas. Another option, instead of gluing your crayons to the canvas, would be to glue them to a separate piece of cardboard. This lets you get a totally different effect from the crayons. The next step is, after all of your crayons have been placed to where you want them, you're going to take a hair dryer and melt the crayons with the hair dryer. Some additional ways to be creative with this is to take extra artwork and put it on the canvas. You could tape it so that way when you blow dry the crayons, it goes around, and then take it off afterwards. Once you're done blow drying the crayons, you can spray it with the top coat to seal it. Here's the final result, and also the difference between the cardboard method and the hot glue gun method.
Because of its rave reviews last year, Senior Jake Clow is back with a new installment of Ain't That a Fact? This time teaming up with online editor Senior Tommy Howe, where the underclassmen challenge the upperclassmen.
Ain't that a fact? 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 Ain't that a fact?
Welcome to Ain't That a Fact with Jay Clo and Tommy Howe. Are you ready to answer? Yes. What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
He's ready. Ain't that a fact? Jesse, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right. 3 questions. True or false? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get started. Hi, I'm Tommy Howe with Ain't That a Fact. I'd like to ask you a few questions if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. First question. There is a tree in India that is wider than the average Walmart.
False.
False. False.
There are more people in Bangladesh than there are in Russia. True or false?
False. False.
True.
You are more likely to be bitten by a shark than you are to be killed by a vending machine.
False.
False. False.
There you have it. Ain't that a fact? Tommy, how ain't that a fact? Griffin Hackler, I got a few questions for you if you don't mind.
Okay.
Ain't that a fact? Let's get started. All right, 3 questions. Tell me how, ain't that a fact? Let me ask you a few questions real quick. All right, first question. There is a tree in India that is twice the size of the average Walmart.
False. False. False.
The country of Bangladesh has more people than the country of Russia.
True. False.
True. You are less likely to be killed by a vending machine than you are by a shark.
False. False. False.
Of course. Ain't that a fact? That's nice.
As students from all the branches of student media start the countdown until their journalist conference in Orlando, Florida, senior Jasmine Delara explores the history of Disney World and interviews Disney enthusiast and English teacher Samuel Worden on all things Disney.
Walt Disney World in Bay Lake, Florida is known and loved by all people all over the world. With over 52 million people annually visiting the 27 different parks, resorts, and businesses, what's not to love? To get the overly progressive idea called the Florida Project approved in 1965, Roy O. Disney, Walt Disney's brother, had to get a special district approved named the Reedy Creek Involvement District with 2 cities inside, Bay Lake and Reedy Creek, now Lake Buena Vista. This special district would be immune from any current or future county or state land use laws. This gave Disney more freedoms than any other park in the world, and they were not going to waste it. Disney World quickly expanded and added new parks to its land, first with Magic Kingdom in 1971, followed by Epcot Center in 1982, Blizzard Beach in 1985, Typhoon Lagoon in 1989, and Animal Kingdom in 1998, which is currently the last new theme park to be installed in the Walt Disney World franchise. The franchise has grown to being a worldwide company spanning from films and stage performances to clothing lines and mass social media takeover on pages like Twitter and Facebook. English teacher and Disney enthusiast Sam Worden gave his insight into all things Disney.
When I first started going, I think Epcot was what, put in 1982? You might have fact check that for me, but I think that's about right. So Epcot was definitely there. I mean, I was going in the mid 80s and early 90s when I was a kid. My grandparents would take me every year. And the last time I went as a kid, the MGM Studios, which is now called just Hollywood Studios, was the brand new thing, and the Grand Floridian Hotel had just been put in. So that was kind of a big deal. We stayed at the Grand Floridian, and they left little presents on our pillows every night and stuff, because it was their fancy schmancy hotel. So you've got that kind of constant expansion. In 1971, they made the Magic Kingdom, and that was it, which was basically like Disneyland, only bigger with more space. And then they added Epcot, which was more than twice as large as the Magic Kingdom. And Walt had kind of a different view for where it ended up being, but MGM Studios. MGM's changed a lot. I mean, not just the name change. It used to be that the shtick with MGM was that it was a real working movie studio. And during the backstage tours, you could go and see artists actually animating the next Disney film, like looking through the windows and stuff. And there were rides and stuff, but really it was the focus on making movies. But then I think it got too expensive for Disney to have animating studios both in Florida and in Anaheim in California. So mostly that got kind of shut down. There were sitcoms that were shooting at MGM, so you could see all that kind of stuff. Now it's really more focused on the thrill rides and that kind of experience, and really pushing Pixar, which Disney bought in the late 90s, early 2000s. So there's lots of Toy Story kind of stuff and that kind of thing in there.
With all this and more in Disney World, there is something for everyone to feel the love of Disney.
It was like, Parisians aren't going to want to go to Disney World. They're kind of, French snobs, and they're like, this stupid American techie stuff, I'm not going to this.
When our newest staff members joined the team, we got them involved right away filming and producing videos. Their first project, Homecoming. Returning senior Stephen Franson and new staff member sophomore Spencer Kalstrip cover the ACHS girls as they fight for the victory in their Powder Puff games.
Dope tone, high quality beat.
Imagine this. Cities destroyed, houses vanished, and all your belongings gone. Zach Dolan informs us of the scares of a tsunami of this caliber.
America has no idea what's coming their way. A tsunami, unlike any other, will eventually strike into the United States West Coast. Tsunamis are long, high sea waves that are caused mainly by earthquakes, although in some cases are caused by landslides or volcanic eruptions. On average, a major tsunami occurs once every decade, with waves being as high as 100 feet. The most recent major tsunami happened in India and Thailand in December 2004. It was caused by an earthquake where the Indian plate subducted under the Burma plate. The results were catastrophic. 300,000 people died in 14 countries, while the total damage was around $30 billion. No major earthquake has taken place in modern times on the U.S. West Coast. The last one was in 1700. On average, these megathrust earthquakes, which are higher than 9 on the Richter scale, take place every 500 years. So it's not a question of if, but rather a question of when. It could happen today or happen 100 years from now.
The North American plate here and the Juan de Fuca plate here. This one's sliding up under, and eventually this is going to go down, send a huge wall of water up. That wall will go all the way over to Japan, and the other will come onto our shore within 15 minutes. And when it slips, it will unleash not only a colossal earthquake, but also that tsunami. 700 miles long, and in some places up to a 100-foot high wall of water and whatever it's pushing, like houses and dump trucks and schools. Thousands and thousands will not escape. The New Yorker quotes a FEMA official who says, and I quote, "Our operating assumption is that everything west of Interstate 5 will be toast." Everything west of Interstate 5 is gone. That's Seattle, Tacoma, Portland and Olympia, Salem and Eugene, wiped out. Altogether about 7 million people. That's not including tourists. So think of summertime. The New Yorker reports that FEMA calculations indicate the disaster will damage or destroy about 1 million buildings, including 3,000 schools and 1/3 of all fire stations.
The so-called Ring of Fire, which is a basin in the Pacific Ocean, is home to 90% of Earth's earthquakes and tsunamis. Earthquakes, ocean trenches, and volcanoes are a direct result of plate collisions in this region. The U.S. West Coast sits squarely on the Ring of Fire and is susceptible to earthquakes and tsunamis. At the Cascadia subduction zone, the Juan de Fuca plate is converging with the North American plate at a rate of 4 centimeters per year. Eventually, the stress on the plates will unleash a huge amount of energy as the Juan de Fuca plate will subduct under the North American plate just off the coast of Washington and Vancouver Island. Once the plates buckle, the North American plate will bounce back up, creating a mega tsunami. Cities like Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and Los Angeles could easily be shred to pieces in a matter of a few minutes. Stephen Rose of ACHS offers his insight on the potential tsunami.
Well, the first thing they're going to have to do is assess the possible areas of danger. So that's going to be any area that is right around sea level, maybe just a little higher than that. And they're going to have to think about what kinds of population is located there. So some areas, for example, Seattle, might be more flat area and really close to the ground, to the sea level. So tsunami, which is just a slight rise in sea level, and by slight I mean maybe like a foot or something, sometimes more. That's going to cause a huge impact because that just continues to wash all the way in. So they need to figure out what areas are at danger, at risk for flooding. As far as economic impact, that's a bigger one because you have to, of course, rebuild everything. That's part of it. You have to clean up. That's another big part of it. And you're also going to have to, take care of however many people that have been affected. If it hits a very populous area like Seattle, then you're talking about maybe entire skyscrapers that are going to have to be leveled to be rebuilt.
In the end, America may not fully recover from this mega tsunami and may be struck wondering what they could have done to help prepare for and prevent potentially the costliest natural disaster in history. As of now, our government shows no interest of taking any precautions. In fact, people haven't even heard of this potential danger. This needs to change because the impacts of the megathrust earthquake are daunting and will destroy many lives if not taken seriously.
Keeping in pace with homecoming week, senior Jasmine Delara and new staff member junior Caitlin Barati run into the front row of the student section as they interview leaders of the Cardinal Crazies and use the new GoPro camera named Little Jimmy to capture the first-person point of view.
I think that the Cardinal Crazies, again, kind of with our purpose, are the example for what it means, hopefully, what it means to be respectful, responsible, and proud.
Sequoit! Repeat after me! I believe that! I believe that! I believe that we! I believe that we! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win!
Our job is to promote school pride all the way around. So it's like.
School climate to be a positive place where people can leave and say, I'm proud to be a Sequoit. We really want to foster and model that, I think.
To finish homecoming week, new staff members junior Zach Tholen and sophomore Jay Chavez got close to the action as they filmed the homecoming football game against Vernon Hills. Even though the Sequoits may have fallen to the Cougars, Zach and Jay were still able to capture the excitement.
Finally, staff members were challenged to define and represent what it means to be a Sequoit. Senior Jay Clow and Tommy Howe give it 3 simple words: respect, responsibility, and pride.
Find out what it means to me. E-S-P-E-C-T. E-S-P-E-C-T. Think I'm TCB. What you want?
respectful.
Respect.
You know you want to go to that party. You can't go to that party. Look at all this homework.
Responsibility.
Do another one.
Pride. Pride. Pride.
And that's our show. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Ian Filey.
And I'm Jasmine Delara. Tune in next month for our December show.